It's Concord Wind. I just had chicken sandwich and a Red Bull, and the Red Bull's enough to give me a little kick to make a video, even though I threw up some of it. But whatever, you know, whatever. Today's my day is still early. I got up at like 2 something, and right now it's 3:16. So I've been up for about an hour. I don't know why my sleeping schedule is messed up. It's so weird. I don't get it. But today has a really interesting vibe because I went outside and it's like really warm, but it's not like hot. It's not like summer. It's like it feels like, well, Tennessee springs are a little weird because Tennessee springs kind of go from cold and then like a quarter or halfway through spring it just gets hot all of a sudden. It's never, as far as I remember, I could be remembering wrong, but like how it feels outside right now is how I would imagine spring to feel like in a state where, or in a country where seasons are clearly distinct, you know, like it feels like a distinct spring outside right now. And the vibe was really cool. It still affected me even after I've came inside. Like I'm still affected by the vibe that I'm feeling. It's really neat. I really like it. I've got I turned my AC on last night because it was hot and I wanted to go to sleep, of course. And it's been hot the past couple of nights, but I didn't think to turn my AC on because I thought, well, it'll get cold again, and it never did. So now it's on fan because I don't want to be too cold. So just the fan is running, the AC is not running. Yeah, so yesterday, because I got a $100 Visa gift card from my aunt, which was, that's too much from my aunt. Because I don't know, that's just too much. But it was really nice, and um, so yesterday, me and my sister we went to the gym, which the gym was fun. I got to watch Black Clover, so I'm almost done with Black Clover. And then we went to the grocery store and I got some tortilla chips and some salsa and some tortilla wraps and some ground beef. Got a lot of ground beef. I spent like $20 on ground beef, and it was on sale too. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be able to make burritos because I'm sick of the ground turkey. The ground turkey just was like, I'm sick of it. I need beef. And what else? Oh yeah, I had really interesting dreams last night. Seems like anytime I have caffeine, I have interesting dreams. I don't remember most of them. I just remember like Kimberly, my ex-wife. Me and her were together, and we had an apartment, and she was like, "So I entered you in a cookie making contest, like a cookie baking contest." And I was like, oh wow. And I was thinking of how I could make really good cookies. And I was thinking of like putting caramel in the dough and then putting green and red sprinkles on top to make it Christmassy. But like caramel cookies, I thought, that would be delicious. And it was weird that I had time to think in this dream. Like I was able to think because I didn't say any of that out loud in the dream. Like I was just thinking. And then she's like, "Yeah, you should, feel lucky that I entered you into that contest, and you're lucky that you have money to get the cookies." And I was like, "You should be more humble than that." Trying to make me feel grateful to you and trying to humble me. I'm already a humble person. You should like humble yourself instead of trying to humble me. Because God is in control and God dominates all things. You're not in control. And that's what I told her. And she was like, she didn't say nothing. Anyways, we were sitting outside at this like park or something. And I called her Pippa. I said, "I love you, Pippa." And I said, um, and this is really weird because Pippa, Mokoko is another VTuber, and Mokoko is not Pippa's sister, and Mokoko has a sister named Fawa, and together they're Famako, and they're twin sisters. But for some reason in the dream, I thought Mokoko was Pippa's sister, and I thought Kimberly, my ex-wife, was Pippa. I was like, "I love you, Pippa," and then I thought about it, and I thought I want to say I love Mokoko too, but I thought that would probably hurt her feelings or make her mad. So instead, I said, "But I think Mokoko is really talented." And she said, "I'm not Mokoko." And then I woke up like, isn't that weird? It's really weird. I'm not Mokoko. Well, you're not Pippa either. You're not Fawa. You're not any of these people. Like, you're Kimberly. It's like really bizarre stuff. Really bizarre stuff. I don't get it. You know, but it's pretty cool that like my belief in God carries over into my dreams. Not many people can say that. It's because my belief in God is the most important thing to me. So of course it carries over into my dreams because I remember reading God's words, um, something about how people who steal, or I can't remember what example was used, but it was some type of like sin or crime or both or something. People who do that thing, whether it's stealing or whatever, they even do it in their dreams. Like they can't get away from it. And so that's just affirmation for me. The fact that when I dream, I still believe in God in my dreams. And I talk about God and view everything from the perspective that God holds sovereignty over everything, like in my dreams. Like that shows me who I am as a person in real life, because my belief is so strong it carries over into my dreams. Like people who steal, their tendency to steal is like so strong it carries over into their dreams, and they steal in their dreams. But if you've stolen once or twice in your dreams, it doesn't mean anything. It's like the if you want to look at what kind of person you are, you got to look at what you consistently do in your dreams. But even that is somewhat unreliable. But like what seems to pop up a lot in your dreams? Because for me, it's like God. I talk about God in my dreams a lot. Um, so anyways, I guess we will read some words of God. Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second. All right. Now I don't know where we can read. We can read right here. Yeah, this is like about 1 page. To live a normal spiritual life, one must be able to receive new light daily and pursue a true understanding of God's words. One must see the truth clearly, find a path of practice in all matters, discover new questions through reading God's words each day, and realize one's own inadequacies so that one might have a longing and seeking heart that moves one's entire being, and so that one may be quiet before God at all times, deeply afraid of falling behind. A person with such a longing, seeking heart, who is willing to continually attain entry, is on the right track of spiritual life. Those who pursue being perfected by God, those who long for a deeper understanding of God's words, who do not pursue the supernatural, but rather pay a real price, who truly care for God's will, who actually attain entry so that their experiences are more genuine and real, who do not pursue empty words and doctrines or pursue to fill the supernatural, who do not worship any great personality. These are the ones who have entered into a normal spiritual life. Everything they do is intended to achieve further growth in life and make them fresh and lively in spirit. And they are always able to attain entry actively. Without realizing it, they come to understand the truth and enter into reality. Those with normal spiritual lives find the liberation and freedom of spirit each day, and they can practice the words of God in a free way to his satisfaction. For these people, praying is not a formality or a procedure. Each day they are able to keep pace with the new light. For example, people train themselves to quiet their hearts before God, and their hearts can truly be quiet before God, and they can be disturbed by no one. No person, event, or thing can constrain their normal spiritual lives. Such training is intended to yield results. It is not intended to make people follow rules. This practice is not about rule following, but is instead about promoting growth in people's life. If you see this practice only as rules to follow, your life will never change. You may be engaged in the same practices as others, while they are ultimately able to keep pace with the work of the Holy Spirit. You are cast out from the stream of the Holy Spirit. Are you not deceiving yourself? The purpose of these words is to allow people to quiet their hearts before God, to turn their hearts to God, so that God's work in them may be without hindrance and may bear fruit. Only then can people be in accord with God's will. And one of the steps to quieting your heart before God is when you pray. 1 second. All right. When you pray, every question you ask, think of the words of God that you've read. Think of your knowledge of God. Think of what God's will is and what the answer to the question is based off of your understanding of God's words. Like, you know, it's normal to ask questions and you should ask questions, but you should ask questions for the sake of understanding God's will. That should be the purpose of asking questions, is to understand God's will more deeply. And when you pray, you should pray for God's will to be done. Like Jesus did, he set the standard. He was the example. And when you pray for God's will to be done, it should be because you desire for God's will to be done. And you should desire for God's will to be done because you should have an understanding that God's will is what's best for everyone, and including God. Everyone benefits from the implementation of God's will. Um, like once God's will is done on earth, everyone will be so happy. They'll be like Job. They'll be Christ like. They'll be like Peter. They'll be like me. They'll be happy. So God's will is a really positive thing. Always has been. He's always wanted what's best for people. He's always wanted good things. Good things always come from him. And so you should desire for God's will to be done because you should love good things. You should love positive things. You shouldn't love evil so much. You should try to train yourself to love good things and positive things instead of loving evil things. That's what I think. That's the truth. That's more than what I think. That's the truth. You should love good and positive things. Like, that's more than my opinion. That's the truth. And so, yeah, we should desire God's will to be done. That should be what's most important. And sometimes when God's will is done, you suffer. Like when God's will is implemented in your life, sometimes you suffer, and you have to submit to God and accept that and just deal with it and endure it until it's over. This too shall pass, and it's gone. It's water under the bridge, and you can move on with your life, and don't hold a grudge against God for it. Just accept it, and that's it. you know? So, yeah. Thank God. All right. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless. Goodbye.